The arms market is not like buying a bag in a shopping mall. Having money doesn't earn you respect. Without your own technology, you'll not only be taken for a fool but also become a laughingstock. India knows this all too well, but today we're not talking about India. We're talking about a developed country, Australia. And specifically, its Navy. When it comes to the Australian Navy, we can't ignore a historic event from a few years ago that could have made it into the World Almanac, the time it teamed up with the US and Britain to poach a deal right from under France's nose. Originally, Australia had signed a contract with France to import 12 conventional submarines. But under US auspices, Australia turned around and signed a deal with the US and Britain to import nuclear submarines, voiding the French contract. Australia faced huge compensation payments, but that wasn't the worst part. The bigger issue is that the US even played Australia for a fool. It was happy to steal the order but had no intention of following through. It said it would first send Australia a few Virginia-class nuclear submarines as a gesture of goodwill, but never specified when. After all, the US still has 17 Virginia-class submarines of its own left to build. At America's current shipbuilding rate, if it finishes those 17 first and then starts building for Australia, it will take at least 50 years. By then, nuclear submarine technology will have advanced by 2 generations, and the Virginia-class subs will be obsolete even if they do reach Australia. But Australia can't afford to antagonize the US, so it recently announced it would spend $6.5 billion to import 11 Mogami-class frigates from Japan, a way to fill the gap left by the submarine fiasco, and a subtle form of protest. Japan's Mogami-class, its latest frigate, drew heavily on the design ideas of the US littoral combat ship, a detail that alone is cause for unease. The design also embodies Japanese engineers' knack for frugality and versatility. Originally intended as a support and anti-submarine frigate, the Mogami-class now pulls double duty as both a frigate and a minesweeper. Its modular design gives it endless potential. High speed improves operational efficiency and reduces the need for numbers, but just like the US littoral combat ship quickly turning into a white elephant, the Mogami-class, designed along the same line of thinking, has also become a similar naval white elephant. First, the 40-knot high-speed design is considered a waste. The Mogami-class has reverted to combined diesel and gas propulsion, making the design space sacrificed for high speed a pointless loss. Second, the modular design of the frigate results in extremely cramped space on the Mogami-class. Equipment rooms and winches are forced into relatively unreasonable positions. Due to engineers' failure to resolve this issue, the Mogami-class, which should have been optimized, was hastily put into construction. The most unreasonable aspect is its dual role as both a frigate and a minesweeper, leading to the frigate being equipped with few and outdated weapons, while having insufficient minesweeping tools. It is clear that each type of warship should undertake its own specific tasks, making due and excessive frugality are not acceptable. The US littoral combat ship has already proven that this approach is not viable at this stage, and Japan has provided another negative example. Australia's insistence on importing this frigate with no future from Japan is largely due to political factors. The cost of purchasing nuclear submarines from Britain and the United States is equivalent to 2 years of social welfare spending in Australia, triggering widespread public discontent. In this frigate import contract, for 11 ships, the last 8 will be built in Australia through technology transfer, which means at least 10,000 new jobs will be created locally. For a country with Australia's population size, this is already a significant benefit. Internationally, it can also strengthen the alliance between the United States, Japan, and Australia. It seems that political correctness is really more important than practicality for Western countries. Of course, we should not forget that Mogami once referred to a cruiser of the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II.